and welcome to Diabetes Connections in the News. I'm Stacey Sims, and these are the top diabetes stories and headlines of the past 7 days. In the News is brought to you by T1D Exchange. The T1D Exchange is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving outcomes for the entire T1D population. Our top story this week, interesting new study looking at preventing type 1. The drug, currently known as IMCY-0098, so you can tell it's very early on here, it blocks the immune system response that is thought to be the trigger. The Oxford scientists who are part of the study say it'll likely be at least 10 years before they'll be able to bring it to market if it works. One of the most promising aspects is that the injection seems to only target production of cells that damage the immune system, so it doesn't seem to affect the body's ability to protect itself against other infections. No surprise, but glad this is being looked into. Older adults with type 1 using CGMs for the first time had lower A1Cs with fewer lows. This study followed adults over 60 for 6 months. The researchers say the benefits of CGM combined with recently improved Medicare coverage should serve to increase adoption of CGM as standard of care in all adult populations, especially older people who are at increased risk of hypoglycemia. New resource, thanks to the Helmsley Trust. This is for pharmacists, and it's hoped it will expand patient access to CGMs. The release says involving pharmacists in providing access is especially important for rural communities, where they may be the most reachable healthcare professionals, given the lack of diabetes specialists across the U.S. The guide was developed by the American Pharmacists Association and its foundation. Looks like the Lilly Diabetes Journey Award medals are getting a second life. As we reported back in January, after nearly 50 years, Lilly decided to end the program, which gives a small medal for 10, 25, 50, and 75 years of living with diabetes. The group Children with Diabetes, best known for putting on the Friends for Life conferences, has taken it over, and they'll now be called the CWD Journey Awards. You don't have to attend one of their conferences to get one. There is still no cost. I'll give you the link to learn more and to order one. We've got the first reported case of diabetes in a giant anteater. You have likely seen this on social media. I already put it in the Facebook group because the picture is priceless. The keepers at the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland say that they discovered something was wrong when Nala, the giant anteater, was losing weight despite eating the same amount or even more sometimes than usual. They carried out a full health check, found she had type 1. The condition is known to occur in domestic cats and dogs and in tamanduas in the wild. No other cases have been reported in giant anteaters. By the way, a tamandua is a smaller anteater, and I spent far too much time today watching videos of them because I had never heard of them, and they are amazing. Dexcom donated the CGM to the zoo's charity, and the story I read here says, due to her lovely personality, Nala is the ideal candidate for this technology, which helps us and her amazing team of keepers manage her condition in the best possible way. Right back to the news in a moment, but first, as I mentioned, the T1D Exchange Registry is an online research study designed to harness the power of individuals with type 1 diabetes. It is a research study conducted online over time, designed to foster innovation and improve the lives of people with T1D. Personal information remains confidential. Participation is fully voluntary. Once you're enrolled, you have the chance to complete annual surveys, the opportunity to sign up for other studies on specific topics related to T1D. And by sharing your opinion, your experience, and some of your data, that's up to you, patients can help advance meaningful T1D treatment care and policy. Sign up at t1dexchange.org/Stacey. That is t1dexchange.org/STACEY. Some great stories from our amazing community. First, Sebastian Sasseville completed the world's toughest ultra cycling race, the Race Across America. It took 12 days and over 3,000 miles coast to coast. Sasseville lives with type 1, and he basically spent 20 hours a day on his bike. He's the first person with type 1 to finish this grueling race. Don Muchow told us he was going to do it, and the 60-year-old has finished a 10K swim around Key West. I spoke to Muchow just after his 2021 Disney to Disney run. That's Disneyland in California to Disney World in Florida. He alluded to doing this race next. I have linked up his race report blog. It's a great read, especially how he treated a high blood glucose during the race with more carbs. He came in second overall and first male in any age group. And finally, another former guest, Dr. Nat Strand, who works at the Mayo Clinic, debuted a film she made with colleagues. It tells the story of what it is to be Black at Mayo Clinic in healthcare in America. Dr. Strand says, quote, by providing a platform for 12 courageous individuals to share their realities, we hope to move viewers toward active anti-racism and start the conversation for many to continue. Again, those three were all guests on the show at one point. I have a very robust search on the website. So if you go to diabetes-connections.com, look on the top right, and you can just put their names in, and their interviews will come up. They are all three just remarkable people. Okay, next week on the show, on the long format episode, you are going to hear from Katie, who started a podcast when she didn't hear the diabetes show she wanted. That sounds familiar. You may know her online as Sugar Mama Podcast. And the long format episode out right now is all about the new documentary regarding stem cell research. I'm talking to the director of The Human Trial. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts. We will not have an In the News episode next Friday. I am traveling to the Friends for Life conference, but I plan on doing a bunch of stuff on social media, so please look for that there. Again, we will have a long format episode, though, this coming Tuesday. And that is In the News for this week. If you like it, please share it. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you back here soon.
Diabetes Connections is a production of Stacey Sims Media. All rights reserved, all wrongs avenged.